Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to our The Mandalorian Chapter 6 Thoughts video. Just finished watching the latest episode of The Mandalorian on Disney+. I'm just going to be sharing my general thoughts on the episode. I will be getting into spoilers, obviously, for things that happened in this episode. This latest episode was the longest episode of The Mandalorian we've got so far, just by a few minutes, but that counts for something. In this episode, we see Mando joins a crew of, I guess, mercenaries in order to break a prisoner out off of a New Republic, I believe it was, New Republic prison ship. This was a kind of a fun episode. Just the premise of him having to join a crew and execute a prison break. And so I really enjoyed the premise of it, and just this layout. This is the episode where we got Bill Burr's character, and I thought he fit right into in the role he had, which was the leader of these mercenaries. And he's kind of always butting heads with Mando, because he's he's the leader. What's so great about Mandalorians anyways, yada yada. And I thought he fit that role really well, and just did a really great job making. I believed him in that role of this kind of mercenary type. I like that he had this third gun thing that was over his shoulder. It was kind of just on. I don't know if it was auto or if it was hooked up or something, but it was a cool little gadget. So that was a fun little thing, and his character overall just fun throughout the episode. Then the rest of the crew were pretty kind of just interesting enough, I guess. There wasn't much to add. There was a history between Mando and the lady who species. I don't even want to try to pronounce it, to be honest, and I'm not sure if I'm getting the right one. So the one lady he seemed to have had a past with, and there's a lot of things kind of implied through that. And then he obviously just clashes with this big guy as part of the crew too. So I just really enjoyed this episode, kind of the all hating on Mando, all having this kind of grudge against Mando as it seems, and kind of give him a hard time through the whole thing. And you're kind of yeah, something's gonna happen. This isn't gonna be a happy. Yeah, they're a team by the end. You can definitely tell something's gonna happen, especially when they start messing with Baby Yoda, and you're like, no, don't. Why are you guys messing with a baby? That's not cool. Not cool, guys. Not cool. Bill Burr pretending it's like a pet. Not cool. Not cool. This episode, just like I said, it was overall just a fun. I like a prison break episode. We saw some new security droids in this, and Mando did a great job just wrecking them, which was a fun scene. There was a lot of fun kind of action scenes in this. Obviously, it was a prison break, and the Mandalorian episode. So the one where he's taking out these new security droids that I think they're new. I haven't seen them, I don't believe, before in the Star Wars canon up to now. I don't think so, at least. Those new security droid, the fight with him versus the new security droids was cool. Just seeing him using his grapple and all his different gadgets to take out 4 or 5 of them. So that was fun. I just really enjoyed that. The crew does end up turning on him through this episode. Actually, pretty early. It happened pretty quickly, which made sense. They broke out the guy. They saw an opportunity to push Mando into the cell. I'm like, okay, I guess I can't blame them that much. I don't like that they did it, obviously, but I like that now Mando has a reason not to trust them anymore completely. He was only kind of sort of, he knew this was a bad idea, but he's desperate for money, I guess, to put more money in to put more fuel in his ship, I guess, and to pay for more docking fees in the future. I'm not really sure exactly what his end goal seems to be, besides just keeping going forward. But he did join this trying to get money, trying to make the money from this mission. He ends up getting turned on, so he ends up turning the tables on the crew that turned on him. He ends up locking them all into the ship, and he takes them out one at a time. And I like the way they set this up, because they kind of they leave it ambiguous, where you're like, he could have killed them, and he even at one point makes a couple of the characters believe that he had killed all the crew members off as well, but he did end up just incapacitating each of them and locking them all up in the cell at the end. So I really enjoyed the way that was set up, seeing him taking them each on individually and taking them out. I love seeing Mando getting tossed around by giant strong people who are stronger than him. And so in this one, it was the big guy with the horns and stuff was just throwing Mando around the control room until Mando was able to luckily get the slight edge with kind of nice timing / positioning with mashing the guy with a couple doors. But I really enjoyed that they don't just have Mando as just always the best. You know what I mean? Like, yes, in the end, he was the best. He was able to take out all three of them, but I like that it isn't like, oh, he's automatically the best fighter or the strongest or whatever. I like that, when he's up against somebody bigger than him, he gets thrown around like a rag doll, and it's just, I really enjoy that. Like, I like seeing that like kind of vulnerability to the hero, seeing that, yeah, the reason he upgraded to this armor is he's not the strongest guy. He needed a little padding, and like the number of times he takes shots in this episode, it just gets tossed around, all of it. I just like that they're not like treating him as an invincible hero, as a can't be hurt or can never be defeated kind of hero. He gets his lickings. Yes, in the end he always comes out at top, but I like to think of that as more like his kind of experience with his skills, and it's not necessarily just not just purely his fighting ability or his pure strength. It's more about the combination of all his abilities as Mando, and like combined with his experience and all that stuff. So I like that it's a little bit more, I guess, nuanced maybe than just having him just be almost like, I don't want to say just like a superhero in a sense, just him being able to like take on every villain he comes up against or everybody he ever fights. So I like that we get different, like particularly in this episode, we see different kind of skill levels that he goes up against. When he's against somebody who's nice and big, he can take it out. But then when he's up against Bill Burr, he just snuck up on the guy, and Bill Burr kind of screamed a little bit. He's like, no! So that was just kind of funny, and I just like the way they handled that scene overall of just having him, the way he was, end up taking out or stopping the crew from ended up stealing his ship and the Baby Yoda. But that was another fun part in this episode. Baby Yoda was messing with this one robot, which was part of the bad guys' crew, I guess the mercenaries' crew, I should say. And the Baby Yoda was messing with that robot at one point, and I really like the way they set up the very end where the robot finally finds Baby Yoda and kind of has him cornered, and you see Baby Yoda starting to reach up, and you're like, is Baby Yoda going to try to force kill this droid or this robot? And then you see an explosion, like, and then the robot drops and it's Mando behind him. I'm like, I like that. I love that kind of little like misdirect, the very slightest thing, because it makes a little more sense that obviously Mando would shoot it than the whole Baby Yoda blowing everything up just because he used the Force one or two times in this series so far. So I like just the way that was kind of set up and done. So yeah, and the last little thing I had written down was I like the way this ends off. Mando does end up getting paid because he does end up taking the prisoner back to the guy, but he also leaves a little present with them, which is a tracker, which the only human guard on the prison ship had activated, which I saw coming when Mando. You see Mando pick it up at one point, and I'm just like, yeah, he's gonna use that in some way. I thought at first he was gonna like sneak it on to one of like one of the crew guys, and then it made sense once he left. I was like, oh, that's where it's going. So he returned the prisoner, he got paid, and then he leaves, and 3 X-wings come out tracking that tracker to the mercenaries base where Mando went at the beginning of the episode, and end up blowing it up. And one of the pilots is Dave Filoni, which is one of the writers on Clone Wars and one of the executive producers on this, and wrote one of the last episode, actually, I think it was. So yeah, that was just a fun little thing, seeing him just pop his little face in there. I wouldn't know it was Dave Filoni if he hadn't actually been on Jon Favreau's The Chef Show on Netflix. So that was just a fun little thing that I noticed. I was like, was that him? And then in the credits, it was confirmed by that. So that was fun seeing the new some X-wings just come in, blow up something, not really questioning it at all. But yeah, overall, this was just a pretty fun episode. I ended up making a longer video than I thought about it, but yeah, it was just fun. I like a Prison Break episode, and I thought they handled this one really well, balancing the action along with giving us these like kind of get us a little bit of suspense in this, where he's kind of hunting them down, a little bit of I don't want to say horror vibe, but definitely that suspense they were trying to build. So I thought they did a great job with that in this episode. But yes, that's all my thoughts on The Mandalorian. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought about this latest episode. Thanks again for joining me. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and have a good one.